Olá, eu espero que esteja tudo bem com você. Quem fala aqui é Samuel Galvão e vocês estão vendo Obey. Em maio de 2015, eu recebi esse jogo através do projeto Games Matter, que infelizmente parece ter parado em sua atividade inicial, mas eu continuei acompanhando o jogo de quando em quando e solicitei ao desenvolvedor uma entrevista. Felizmente, ele concordou em responder em áudio algumas perguntas que eu fiz. Você estará acompanhando a entrevista com as perguntas em português e as respostas legendadas ao longo do vídeo. Mas antes vamos falar rapidinho sobre esse jogo. É mais um título em Early Access na Steam com uma proposta muito experimental. É tão experimental que é um ponto forte do jogo, tornando-o bastante único como multiplayer em mecânicas e apresentação visual, mas ao mesmo tempo acaba com uma base de jogadores um pouco limitada, pelo menos por enquanto. Obey é um jogo apenas multiplayer, bastante diferente. O jogo está em Early Access, então elementos visuais e mecânicos podem ser modificados até a forma final do produto. Entretanto, eu creio que esta aparência bem quirky é a ideia final de estética que o desenvolvedor deseja, e eu realmente gosto do visual. Em Obey, cada jogador é um bunny. A partida funciona com pontuação que aumenta ao longo da relação dos bunnies com aquele que controla o robô, que também é um bunny. Bunnies recebem pontos se assim for vontade daquele que controla o robô, na medida em que entregam itens ou executam ordens ou ao longo do tempo. Há várias formas de jogar para ganhar. Você pode tentar ganhar apenas entregando itens. Você pode tentar ter mais pontos fazendo acordos com quem controla o robô, entregando outros bunnies que tentam subverter ou tomar controle do robô, ou mantendo o controle do robô e administrando os ganhos dos outros jogadores de modo que nunca fiquem acima de sua pontuação. E o jogo é principalmente baseado na coisa de conversar, convencer ou enganar os demais. O uso do microfone é muito mais comum que na maioria dos outros multiplayers que eu já joguei, principalmente porque comunicação faz parte da mecânica e digitar não promove a mesma dinâmica que falar neste caso. E este é um fator complicado porque a pequena base de jogadores são de diversas nacionalidades e falam inglês durante as partidas. A maioria deles entende como língua principal ou segunda língua apenas inglês. E sem o fator da comunicação para o estabelecimento de acordos, conspirações ou rebeliões, o jogo perde algo muito significativo em sua mecânica. Eu não estou dizendo que é preciso haver um domínio mínimo do idioma comum para haver comunicação. Há aqueles que argumentam que a mesma violência é uma forma de comunicação, mas o uso de fala torna tudo mais dinâmico e parece ser o modo que o desenvolvedor considera ideal na execução das partidas. E falar a sua segunda língua, ainda que você a domine bem, nunca terá o mesmo fluxo que falar em sua língua nativa, no nosso caso, português brasileiro. Isso pode ser problemático porque, com a atual predominância de inglês entre os jogadores, o ambiente pode não ser convidativo para pessoas que não falam inglês. Pode até ser um modo prático e relevante de tentar praticar outra língua, mas nem todo mundo deseja esse tipo de uso para um jogo, especialmente um jogo multiplayer competitivo. No geral, o Obey é uma interessante ideia e, apesar da simplicidade mecânica, compensada pela complexidade da relação entre os jogadores, promove longas, divertidas e nervosas partidas. E definitivamente vale a pena conferir. Agora que eu deixei uma breve opinião sobre o jogo, vamos ao mais importante deste vídeo, que é a entrevista com o desenvolvedor Daniel Dess. De onde você é e qual é a sua idade?
Hey Samuel, so I'm originally from Miami and I'm 36 years old.
Obey é seu primeiro projeto como desenvolvedor? Há quanto tempo você trabalha como desenvolvedor?
Obey is definitely not the first project I've worked on as a game developer. I've been working in games since 2002. So it's been a long time, like 14 years. I've worked in studios, I've been an independent contractor and independent developer.
Como você se envolveu com o desenvolvimento de videogames?
I got into it when I graduated college. I wasn't sure if I would end up in movies. I mean, I knew I always wanted to end up in games, but I didn't know if I would actually be able to. But I basically took the first job I could get, which happened to be at a game studio, and that's where I began. My first game was actually Disney's The Haunted Mansion. That was released in 2004 on the PS2 and GameCube. And I actually began as a level artist. My degree is in computer animation, not programming. I actually taught myself programming over the years of being an artist game developer. So after doing a lot of game art, I eventually kind of transitioned into a technical artist. And after doing that enough time, I became basically a professional level programmer.
Desenvolver jogos é a sua única fonte de renda?
Game development has been my main source of income for most of my career. Right now, I also have a full-time job because I wasn't actually able to stay fully independent while finishing Obey. Obey was such a huge project that I wasn't able to just keep it going, because I haven't released it yet. So I spent 2 years trying to stay independent, but I just didn't have the funds to continue. So I took on a full-time job while I finish it up. But for most of my career, game development has been my only source of income.
Por que Obey? Como surgiu a ideia para o jogo?
As far as the idea for Obey, the first ideas for Obey started in 2002. Also, as soon as I graduated college, a couple friends and I were like, hey, let's make a game. And it was a very different idea than it is right now. The idea began with trying to make the most asymmetrical game we could possibly make. And that team fell apart immediately, and I tried to revive the idea several times over the years. Then in 2014, I decided I'm really going to do this, and I'm going to do it by myself. And as I was working on it, I was getting serious about it, I realized that what I was really making was like a kind of like the more I pushed the asymmetry, the more it became like a human behavior simulator. It became like the relationship between the robot player and the others was really something that I saw that mirrored a pattern that I saw in real life, which was basically a master-slave simulator, where the slave has certain incentives to continue the behavior that they have. For example, if you take like mass slaughters or big tragedies, like let's say, the Holocaust is the most well-known probably, but there are many others where this always happens in this kind of mass execution scenarios, for example, where if I ask who buries the dead, who buries the people that have been murdered by said regime, and the answer is the people who are about to be executed, bury them. And this kind of perversion of self-interest is what I really push and try to capture in Obey, and that's basically what guides my gameplay decisions on it.
Por que apenas multiplayer? Por que early access?
The reason it's multiplayer only is because what I wanted with Obey is a really psychological game, totally psychological game, something that you usually typically only see it in tabletop, but almost never in video games, and I wanted to capture that for video game players, and it's pretty much impossible to do against bots, so that's why it's multiplayer only. I have bots in Obey, but the game isn't really meant to be played against bots, and it's the same reason as why I released it as early access. Since it's a multiplayer game, I can't test the dynamics alone, so I've been having it early access for a very long time. People play test it, and as changes have been coming, the game has evolved a lot because of it's been in early access, and I've had the public trying it out.
Como gamer e desenvolvedor, como você vê o gamer brasileiro e o consumidor brasileiro?
As far as Brazilian gamers, I see them as really underserved. I don't know this for a fact, but my guess is that they typically get horrible translations and horrible overdubs. That's why I've been really lucky to have community translators to get a decent translation for Obey, so that Brazilian players can just come in, and I think they would have the most fun also playing against each other, against other Brazilian players, because the game is psychological and it depends a lot on language and subtle voice cues. I think that would be most fun for them. Like I said, I really want them to enjoy it, like as if the game was built for them. Like they can't tell that was built in another language. I want Brazilian translations by Brazilian players so that everything will flow and like they can really enjoy it as it's meant to be enjoyed.
Nos fale pouco sobre sua experiência como desenvolvedor solo.
Okay, so my experience as a solo developer, how can I say this? I mean, Obey is a game that I tried many times to complete in a team environment. I would say it failed about 3 or 4 times with teams. I tried with this group or that group, but the problem with an ambitious project like this, when there's no money coming in, is that people drop out. People get busy. I got a girlfriend, I get married, or I have a kid, or I got a job, I moved away. Like, there's so many things that will happen over the course of a year or two let's say you take any random sampling of 3 or 4 people, even 2 people, the chance is doubled that one of those things will happen in such a way that the team cannot function as it did when it began. As a solo dev, for me, this is the way to go for a game like this, because it guarantees that the buck stops with me. Then the game is gonna be what it needs to be and what I want it to be. This has been also insane. Like, it's been the scope of this project has really been inhuman for one developer. I'm not sure if I'd recommend it to anybody else. I was already an experienced developer, and even then, it's been very, very tough. It's been a monumental amount of work. I think partially, what I wanted was to prove to myself that I can do it. And obviously I can. I'm convinced I can. I'm fairly close to finishing. It needs a couple months of full-time work. That of course is taking me a very long time because I have a full-time job and I can only work on it on night. But it's been very, very, very tough, and I wouldn't mind any future games that I make would definitely not be as ambitious as Obey, but I feel already proud of it. It's doing what it's supposed to do, even though it's not complete, and it's definitely the best thing I've ever made as far as games go. So cool, man. Thanks for doing the interview.
E essa foi a primeira entrevista com o desenvolvedor publicada aqui no canal. Eu agradeço de coração a Dan10 por ter tirado tempo para responder as perguntas. Nós sabemos o tanto de trabalho que você tem nas mãos e o quão precioso é o seu tempo. E a você que ficou interessado na ideia, não deixe de dar uma olhada na página do jogo na Steam. Muito obrigado pela atenção e até mais.
Hey Anthony, how you doing?